So we have a lot of questions, and I just kind of want to get through these now, if that's okay.
Yeah. I'll do my
So
best.
Carly says here, if someone had amalgams, but no symptoms of mercury poisoning, would you advise to leave them in or remove?
I would say, what I used to say to, I would say leave them alone. Use clean slate, leave them alone. And if you do need them changing, then make sure you take some activated charcoal, before you go in, take some extra clean slate and get them changed as and when they need doing. I wouldn't have them taken out because it's expensive, time consuming, and you could end up with worse problems. And it's very difficult to find someone who's going to do it safely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. So Estelle has a question. Actually it's more of a comment. She says that my chronic fatigue syndrome started when I had teeth with amalgam fillings removed, some teeth with amalgam fillings removed.
Does she mean extractions or the fillings removed, or the teeth?
My chronic fatigue started when I had some teeth with amalgam fillings removed. She says, my chronic fatigue syndrome started when I had some teeth with amalgam fillings removed. I'm not sure if she means.
Like the teeth were extracted, but I think what she means is the amalgams.
I think she means that she had the amalgams removed and she ended up with chronic fatigue syndrome.
But it depends on, again, it depends on how were they removed. Did the dentist follow a very strict protocol? Did they speak to you beforehand about what you need to do, and and how? Well, was a rubber dam used? Did you have a separate air supply? Did you have your eyes covered? That sort of thing. And if you didn't, you probably had a whole load of mercury vapor released. And where does it go? It goes up through your palate. And what's the palate? It leads to the floor of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So everything, the mercury vapor will just travel upwards. So it's hardly surprising if you've had them taken out. People should not have their amalgams taken out unless they A, need replacing, or B, if they want to have them taken out, they need to be done safely. And the stupid thing in England was you were allowed to have your amalgam fillings taken out if it was for cosmetic reasons, but not for health reasons.
Oh, wow. Well, I think I told you that, like my daughter, she had, I told you about her wisdom teeth. She had room for her wisdom teeth to come in, and she had a cavity there, and her dentist, this was here in Norway, told her that this tooth we need to remove. Instead of filling the tooth, they wanted to remove the tooth because then that way she would have one less tooth to brush.
Well, that's crazy, isn't it?
That's what she was told. I said, no way, we're going to save that tooth. Put a filling in it. So Carly also says that, makes a comment on Estelle saying that her sister also has chronic fatigue after amalgams were removed incorrectly. And let's see. When did I have a root canal? Let's see.
So Marina, while Dory's looking at some of the chats, have you tried gargling yet with Clean Slate, or any of the people that you've recommended the product to? And I think you've had a couple, we'll say clients or friends that you've referred to use Clean Slate that have had some initial pretty intriguing outcomes. Is that correct?
Yeah, one of the things that I did was I went to a raw cookery school. Well, how can you call it cookery? But raw food preparation course. And the lady there, one of the ladies there, she eats raw mostly, and she's vegan, and she suffered from multiple sclerosis, and it's got worse over the years. So I sent her a bottle of Clean Slate because she'd done some things for me, and I wanted to say thank you. So I sent her a bottle of Clean Slate, and then I messaged her to see how she'd got on, and she said, first message she sent back to me was, well, I'm walking, she'd been using it just under 2 weeks, and she said, I'm walking around upright now. I used to have to walk at an angle of 90 degrees because of the pain. I've still got pain, but at least I can walk upright without using crutches. That was the first message. And then she messaged me 2 days later and said that she'd gone to Tesco's, one of the supermarkets in the UK, and that, actually I'll read you her messages. She said, sorry. Hi, Marina. Thanks for your message, because I messaged her to see how she was getting on. I'm slowly getting back into work this week. I'm feeling a bit better, thank you. I'm not bent over like I was. I often walked around at a 90-degree right angle due to instability and pain, but I've been walking almost upright and haven't needed crutches. I still have the pain, but walking is easier. I also seem to need less CBD to stop my leg spasms at night. I often spasm, so I can't sleep, but I seem to need less CBD than I did. It's so hard to tell because it's such a temperamental disease, but overall, I think I'm feeling better. Thank you. I think whatever has got me over a period of years, so it may take a while to unravel. Then 2 days later, she said, I can walk normally now. I can't believe it. I walked around Tesco's and I thought to myself, I feel normal. I'm walking without pain and not wobbling. I need to build the strength up in my legs and I've pain around my hips intermittently throughout the day. I really can't fathom it. Thank you so much. How does it work? And then she said, and then she wrote something on Facebook about going out for a walk. So I messaged her and said, oh, I read that you went for a walk. Are your legs still good? And she wrote back and said, I can't believe it. I walked around the back of the house to the brook and back, up a hill through the forest and stood talking to my neighbours. I was out for 1 hour, 40 minutes and without a cane. I'm still very wobbly, but feels very hopeful. Thank you so much.
I think she owes you now.
That was 3 weeks of taking Clean Slate. I'm beginning to feel like myself again after a few years of wondering who this person was that I'd become. How wonderful is that?
I don't think there's amount of money that you can receive or spend to have that kind of feedback.
No, that's right. That is incredible, isn't it?
That's pretty amazing.
Well, what I'd like to say to any of you is, if you've got amalgams in, you should be using Clean Slate. If you have children who have braces, because braces, whether they're the plastic removable ones, they will be leaking out monomers because acrylic is not great for you. We all talk about BPA, having BPA-free bottles, but they use bisphenols in white fillings and in the plastics that they make dentures and braces with. So if your children are wearing braces, a lot of the wires are nickel titanium wires.
Oh yeah, that's what you said.
Stainless steel brackets. Lots of people are allergic to nickel, so you've got all this. The dentists are doing so much damage. I mean, admittedly, they don't realise they are, but we are doing, as a profession, we are doing so much damage to people without, people realising it. In the materials we use and what we do, because if your bite is incorrect, you can get back problems, hip problems, postural problems. You might not be able to breathe properly. I've had children where I've corrected their bites, young children, and they don't need grommets anymore. Their ear pains have gone. They started to hear better at school. It's just absolutely incredible. You can do some amazing things with dentistry, but you can also do a lot of harm. And I think anybody that has any kind of dental wear in their mouths, whether it's a white filling, a silver filling, a denture, a brace, an implant, you should all be on Clean Slate, because whatever is in the mouth, unless it's the most biocompatible material is zirconium, which is a rare metal. And that is the most biocompatible material. And I think if you're going to have implants, you should have zirconium implants. But very few people do those. And I would say to any of you, if you've got anything in your mouth, whether it be a denture, any type of filling, any type of brace, any type of crown, you should be on Clean Slate.
So I might compound that, because it's not just if you have them currently, but if you've ever had them, correct?
Well, yes.
Or if your mother, your grandmother or great grandmother, and going down the maternal lines because of what's passed.
Yep, there is that as well, because the baby gets it all. And of course, you know, when the glyphosates are in the baby's milk as well. And
Yep.
breastfeeding is really important if you want your child to have a healthy jaw, a nice big wide jaw, which isn't crowded. You know, a lot of children get crowding because they mouth breathe, or they're bottle fed, and so their jaws
Oh,
don't
wow.
properly.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, if when a baby's breastfed, they have a different type of swallow to a baby that's bottle fed, and when they're bottle fed, they have to suck quite hard on the teats, and it causes their cheeks to act a bit like a brace, and they end up with narrower upper arches than babies that are breastfed.
So
And
I should have had a wider jaw then.
Yeah, and if you're
I had to have 8 teeth removed just to take these teeth that I
well,
have.
say you had to, that was what they did. But you know, there are some amazing dentists around. There's one in Sydney who goes around the world teaching, and he shows you that he can just look at someone's face without even looking in their mouths and tells you whether or not they need an extraction. And most people do not need extractions to have overcrowding dealt with. You make the jaw bigger to fit the teeth in, and that means you will have
Be
to
like
use
that.
braces. So you'll need to take the clean slate to while you're wearing the braces. So, but you know, that's why I'm saying dentistry is, when you really understand dentistry, it's the most amazing subject, and it has the awesome effects on the body if it's done the right way. You know, they've done experiments with rats where they've taken rats and they've anesthetized them and put them on special little racks, and then they've x-rayed their spines. And then what they did was they got the rats and they added little bits of filling to one side of their mouth so their bites were uneven, let them run around for a while, and they had, you know, control groups, and then they let them run around for I don't know how many weeks it was, I can't remember, but then they anesthetized them again and put them on these little racks, and most of them, I think it was over 80% of them, had developed a scoliosis. And then when they corrected the bites again, most of them went back to having a straight spine, but some of them, the scoliosis stayed. So
Kirsten has a comment here. She has neuralgia inducing cavitation osteonecrosis and was detected in her jawbone. It's releasing toxins, and she says here, and I'm scared of having that procedure as my teeth are all off bite, etc. So much done and still in pain. Do you have any suggestions for her?
well, I think she needs to see if she can find a proper holistic dentist. It depends where she is. The International Academy of Oral Medicine and Toxicology have lists of dentists that are very, you know, good.
Okay, perfect.
If
Because
you have
somebody was asking that.
If you have any lesions in your jawbones, they need to be dealt with, because one of the things they find in the jawbone, you can have, when you've had a tooth extracted, and you can get like a little cyst there, although most dentists don't recognize it. When there was a German dentist, and he had to look at all these little lesions, they call them Nico lesions, and they're all filled with heavy metals.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, cholesterol filled with heavy metals.
Interesting.
And
So then would you then, like, say for example, you know, root canals, would you recommend having those removed?
Not in every case. I think you need to again find a dentist who can test to see which ones are, because you see, everything we're doing is a compromise. You take a tooth out, and if you don't replace it, then you're disturbing the bite, and then you could upset the spine and the way people walk and their airways. So everything, I came to the conclusion towards the end of my dental career that actually everything we did was a compromise, because nothing was as good as having a full, healthy set of teeth that were biting together properly.
So
everything we did was a compromise.
You have the benefits of everything that can be done, but you also have the byproduct of really pick your poison. Literally.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, it's you take a tooth out, and then you're upsetting the way the teeth bite together, and that will have an effect on your body.
What do you think about, you know, like, say for example, poison in whiteners?
Poison in whiteners. Well, again, you know, the trouble is people want to have really white, lovely, straight teeth, so they'll go and they don't even think about the crap that's in everything. Sorry.
It's true.
You
Well,
know, it's all about looks. It's not about health. And then when they do get concerned about their health, usually it's too late, or it's way
Fashion.
down the line. You know.
Fashion over function.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can
Okay.
have another conversation about fluoride, but thank you so much for making yourself available, and I can't wait to chat with you more.
Okay.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining our call. It is 2 minutes till the next call. Thank you, Marina, so much for joining our call today and educating us on the dental industry and the metals and the mercury. We really appreciate you taking the time to share your knowledge with us. And thank you, Clayton. I think he's probably left already. So we'll be here next week, same time, same place. Always a new topic every Tuesday. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.